Dave, for Yoshinobu today, how important just is the first inning and how telling will that be just for you in regard to kind of what you're seeing from him and maybe the adjustment he's made from the first game of the series?
It's an important inning. I think that, both offenses like to strike first. Setting the tone by throwing up a zero would be huge. Also, it kind of gets us into the game, gets us up to hitting. And also just kind of seeing where he's at emotionally and with his stuff. So I'm, like everyone else, just curious to see how he's going to come out, but feel that he's ready for this moment. I don't think he's going to run from it, and I think he's going to be really good tonight.
We'll go to Juan in the second row.
Dave, how did you guys land on the decision to go with Yamamoto as opposed to some of your other options?
Well, I think that if you look at Yoshinobu, he's on his regular rest. Jack, it would be a regular rest for him, which is shorter still. We don't have the same as far as bullpen availability as we did as far as up downs and all that stuff. So I think that kind of realizing that, Yoshinobu's here to be a top-end starter, and this is his time, and I feel that we have really viable candidates, behind him, but I still believe it's certainly, I feel we all feel good about the decision for him to start.
In a winner go-home game, how aggressive are you going to be with your bullpen behind them, and is Flaherty kind of an option if you guys need him?
Jack's certainly an option, but I do believe that the guys that have been in the bullpen all year are just as capable, if not more than capable. I would say more than capable than what Jack could do. And so to have Jack, being ready, if needed, certainly. But I feel that with Yoshinobu and our guys, and again, I'm just going to watch the game like all of us and kind of see, how he's throwing the baseball, what type of at-bats those guys are having, and then kind of make decisions, going forward.
Go to Jack in the front.
How did the relievers come out of playing catch yesterday? And is it, like, when you talk about availability, is it more just like how long they can go rather than, guys being up or down?
Correct. They're all up. Everyone's up, and it's kind of then baking in, how much they can give us, and then you got to layer in effectiveness and all that stuff. Yeah.
And then why do you think the first inning has been a struggle for Yoshinobu at times this year? And are there things going into tonight that you guys change there or emphasize on to try to clean that up?
I don't know the answer. I think that I think every starting pitcher would say that the first inning is the toughest inning. I don't know the stats, but I'm sure that the first inning is an inning that teams typically score. Pitchers are trying to get their feel, get into the game, the flow of the game, and so it's a tough inning. I think for Yoshinobu, it's just kind of from the outset, it's not a, 110 pitch exercise, 100 pitch exercise. Just go out there and rip it from pitch one. And so I think that with that mindset, I think that'll bode well.
Do you have a range for how long you want him to go tonight, or is it going to be reading and reacting?
Reading, reacting. I think the game situation, the scoreboard will kind of tell a lot.
Nikki up in the front.
Dave, 4 games in, what's been different about the way this team has competed differently in this postseason as opposed to postseasons of the past?
I think, I think that obviously I can pull from 2020 when we won it all. I just think that there's a relentlessness, a refusal to lose, and just kind of whereas you're competing, and there's not a person that's not going to say they're not competing, but I think that there's a different level of you're just not going to lose, and regardless of circumstance, and I've seen that from our guys this year. I believe in this team more than any team I've had. So how that manifests tonight, I don't know. I don't think no one knows, but I feel very confident that we're prepared. We're going to give those guys everything and more than they can handle, and I expect to win this game tonight, and I know every single guy in there does too.
Go to Mike Stendon up on the right.
Dave, how much has Blake Trinan's dominance over the last 5 or 6 weeks changed the dynamics of your bullpen?
It's huge. It's huge. I think that, I think there was a point sometime in the middle of the year where he was kind of scuffling a little bit, but he's pitched in huge ball games. And so to have him back to being dominant like he is has certainly made everyone else around him better. To be able to deploy him at any point in time, to go multiples, right versus left, all that stuff has stabilized us. He's got a crazy good look in his eye as far as being possessed. And I think all those guys, honestly, I think 26 guys in that room feel that way, have that same look. But yeah, the guys in the pen, they're all kind of in that good spot.
Go to Fabian on the left side.
Yeah, Dave, what went into going with Kiké in center?
I just think that I was going to find a way to get him in there. Miggy Rowe, I think the mobility isn't there. The running, the bat's still in play, but I just wanted to make sure that Kiké was in there, and I trust him anywhere on the diamond.
And you've now managed more winner-take-all games than any manager ever. I mean, what do you look for in the hours leading up to a winner-take-all game? Sort of gives you good signs.
You can kind of feel if guys are afraid to fail. You just kind of it's a different feeling, There's not always tomorrow, like we always say in baseball. So that's a different feel. Just knowing the pulse of the guys. So I think that it's yeah. I mean, I didn't realize I have, but yeah, it's I don't know. It's a good spot to be in. If you're ready for it.
Back to Juan in the second row.
Dave, does Freddie have to go through like pregame stuff? Or
Yeah, he will. He will. So right now he's in there. I feel good about him in there. He's still going to go through his routine, and if he doesn't go, then we'll adjust.
Go to Hazel, third row on the left.
Dave, back to Yoshinobu. Besides a clean first, what will tell you, maybe it's stuff-wise or the way he navigates the Padres lineup, that he's on top of his game?
It's the curveball. It's the split, versus right, versus left. It's the slider. It's the fastball command to the top, to the bottom. And, in a game like this, you're just want to see as much, see what's working, see how those guys are reacting to his stuff. And, if he's locked in with his command, it's going to be a good night for us.
We'll take two more. We have Jack in the front, and then we can finish with Barry.
Will you give a pregame address today or do anything different about just the way you talk with the guys leading up to the game?
No, I have one-off conversations. I kind of make my rounds. What's that called? Leadership by wandering. I kind of make my way around the clubhouse, the field. So I don't need to have a big meeting. No, we're good.
Hey, Doc, going back to Yamamoto, it seems like since spring training, there's been an inconsistency to him. He's had his moments, he had the injury. Why do you think he didn't get the traction here in Major League Baseball coming over from Japan? Better hitters? What's your opinion on it now that you have the whole season behind you?
I think certainly better hitters. I think he's learning and continues to learn the hitters here. Certainly the injury part of it, I thought his best outing was before he went on the IL in the middle of the season. But I think at the end of the day, we're making a bet on a guy to pitch the game of his life tonight. And so all that stuff, I don't know the answer. I think there's a combo to answer that question. But our main concern is he's in a good spot physically and mentally and emotionally tonight, which we all feel he is. And so, yeah.
Well, he's here for 12 years. So, I mean, at some point you have to really make an investment in him. Both you've done it financially, and you have to make the investment in him tonight too, don't you?
Yeah, and that's what we're doing tonight. And I feel great about him making the start tonight. Yeah, in an elimination game. Absolutely.
Kiké, yesterday we saw in the clubhouse just the message amongst you all, job's not finished. When you think about just going into this game, Game 5, you guys got obviously put yourself in this situation, picking up the win in Game 4. What is just the approach and mindset amongst the team right now, and how are you guys feeling heading into this game tonight?
Same as Game 4. There's no tomorrow. We got to find a way to win today and win today only. And, I mean, the way I see it is these type of games are the ones that we've been dreaming of since we were little kids. And we didn't come here to win the NL West. We came here to win the World Series. And to do that, we got to win tonight, or we go home and we think about it all off season. And this team gets to spring training next year to talk about failures from the years past and blah, blah, blah. And, we're just not worried about anything else other than winning tonight. And there's 26-plus people in their clubhouse that believe in each other and have the right mindset to go out there tonight and do whatever it takes to win tonight.
A few more for Kiké. Go to David on the right, third row.
Kiké, I'm sure you've heard people talk about this time of year being your time of year. Why are you able to excel in October when others are not?
I mean, I don't know. Kind of back to what I said to Kirsten. These are the type of games that we dream of as kids, and you got to have the right mindset, the right mentality to come in here and, just find a way to dominate the day. And I just, there's something I do at night is I visualize a lot, and I go to sleep and I envision the next day, pitchers that we're facing, situations, whether it's offensively or defensively, running the bases, and just envision myself having success all throughout the game, big moments, no matter the situation of the moment, just finding ways to get the job done. And, there's anxiety and things like that we go through as athletes, especially in big situations, big games, especially in October. And whenever you feel that little anxiety or whatever it is creep in, you just go back to visualizing yourself having success, and you just find a way, whatever it is that you got to find, so that when the moment shows up, when the big moment shows up and you step into the play, whatever it is, you don't let the moment get too big. You feel like you're bigger than the moment, and there's no moment that's going to get too big for you. So that's my mentality, and that's how I see the game. That's how I go about it.
JP in the front.
Have you always had that visualization routine? If not, how have you kind of evolved your approach to the postseason over the course of your career?
So my first postseason was 15. I feel like I had it was a not terrible performance, but we played a Game 5 here, and I had a big at bat where I grounded out into the play. It was early in the game, but we lost by 1 run, and then you go through scenarios of how the game could have gone different. And I felt like if I came through for my team there, the game would have been different, and maybe we would have advanced. And I went with that same mentality to 2016, and it didn't go well for me. So 2017 was a completely different mindset. We had a great team, and we were rolling. And it was the night before Game 5 of the 2017 NLCS that I did that for the first time. I switched gears, and I was like, I'm tired of feeling like thinking, what if? No, I'm just going to go to bed thinking that, I'm going to just about how I'm going to answer questions the next day, because I just had a great day. Offensively, I put the team into the World Series, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward to the next day, I hit 3 home runs, and I haven't looked back since. And you just got to understand that there's only 2 ways that it can go. You can either have success or you can fail. And you just can't be afraid of failure. And you just gotta want the moment, gotta want the at bat, and that worked for me that night. And there's no reason why to not do it that way. Regular season, it's kind of hard to go about it that way, but during the postseason, that's just what I do, and it's something that's helped for me. And I just I feed off the stadium energy, and that's something that works for my advantage.
A couple more for Kiké. Go to Fabian, standing up on the left.
Yeah, Kiké, Dave, when he came in here, sort of said the same thing, like, you can't be afraid to fail in these winner-take-all games. Like, how difficult is it to be in that spot mentally? Like, how, you mentioned kind of the visualization part of it, but, like, how difficult is it to get yourself to accept that point?
I don't know. I think something that's worked for me is the fact that I've had a lot of experience in these moments. Like, You can there's players that go one postseason don't have success, and then they have to wait a couple of years to get back to it and things like that. But I think honestly, when you have a lot of experience, it helps a lot. It helps calm everything down and slow everything down, and just kind of find ways to make it seem like another game. But I don't know, man. I just do we have questions about the team? I don't feel that comfortable talking about myself over and over again.
We'll go straight back on the
Kiké, I think everyone would agree Game 2, things got a little out of hand, just the entire atmosphere. What would you like to see from Dodgers Nation in the Ravine tonight?
Same energy. We have no control over what the fans do. We only have control of what we do. And, I mean, we've known that we have the best fan base in baseball. There's a reason why we lead baseball in attendance every year. And, you know, if there's something that this crowd is hungry. They want a championship. They want another one. The one that we had a couple of years back, the city didn't get to celebrate it because of obvious circumstances, and we know how bad they want it, and we know that we're gonna. What time's the game? 5 or 5:30? 5:08. I know at 5:08 they're gonna be there, and they're gonna be right behind us. They're gonna have our backs, and you know, I don't really care about any of that. We don't have control over anything. We just know that our fans have our backs, and we're ready to rock with them.
Go to Maria up in the front.
Kiké, let's talk about the locker room. Shohei said there was a good vibe before Game 4, and
Did he say that in English or Japanese?
he said it in Japanese.
Okay.
So, what is that vibe? How is it different than maybe a Game 3, and is that the vibe in there now?
Honestly, the vibe in Game 3 wasn't terrible. I think Game 3 showed a lot about us, you know, the way that we come back. There's been times in the past where this team in the postseason, we fall behind, and we don't really find it in us to fight back, and we did that. We just fell a little bit short, and I think, you know, just that same energy was there Game 4, and that's why we were able to go out and do what we did. I think we have a very united group. We have a lot of people that believe in each other. We have a bullpen that does not care at all whatsoever, and they're nasty. We have a high octane offense, and you know, we just believe, we're hungry, and we want it. We want it. You know, we're in it together, and we're gonna either win it all together or we're gonna die together. But the one thing is, we're gonna do it all together, and we believe in each other. So I think that's you know, that's everything you can ask for before stepping in between the lines.
We'll stay in the front on this side, Nikki.
And on that note, Kiké, you spoke about your mental approach, but can you feel something different about this collective's mental approach this time around?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, I think confidence is huge. This month can make people feel not confident. And if you find it in you to be confident, because I feel like confidence is a choice, it's just a thought, it's a feel. And if you can find your way to feel differently about that, everything is going to change. Your body language is going to change, and good things, you know, when you carry yourself with good body language, with like confident body language, confident energy, more times than not, good things tend to happen. And when you're like walking around and you feel like your tail is between your legs, that's when things spiral and like things start snowballing. But I think it just goes back to how I answered the question about how everybody is just confident and everybody believes in each other, that, you know, we're going to either have success or we're going to fail. And then if I don't get the job done, the guy behind me is going to get it done. And that's how we feel about every single person in that locker room.